All right, let's talk about something that drives so many traders absolutely nuts. It's this paradox where you feel like you know exactly what you're doing, but your account balance just isn't showing it.
Sound familiar? You've got the killer strategy, you've funded your account, you have all the fancy software, so why does your equity curve look like a heart attack? Well, this is the question we're diving into, pulling from the incredible work of Mark Douglas in Trading in the Zone. And here's a spoiler, the problem isn't your charts, it's what's going on between your ears.
And this is the very first and maybe the most important idea you have to wrap your head around. The traders who consistently win aren't necessarily smarter. They just have a rock-solid mental game. They figured out how to master themselves, which is the only way to really master the markets.
Let me ask you a question. Imagine you're handing your money over to one of two traders. One guy is a certified genius. He can call market turns like it's magic, but he's completely terrified of being wrong. The other trader? His analysis is, well, it's just okay, but he is absolutely fearless. He doesn't flinch at taking a loss. Who gets your money?
You'd pick the fearless guy, right? Every single time. Because that brilliant, fearful analyst, he's going to hesitate. He's going to second-guess himself and blow up his own great ideas. But the mediocre trader with the right attitude, he just executes his plan, day in and day out, with zero emotional drama. And that's the whole point. Your mindset, not your method, is what's really going to drive your results.
Now, this is especially true when you're just starting out. See, a lot of new traders get a taste of success right out of the gate, but what feels like skill is often just a really dangerous illusion.
You know that feeling, right? You placed a couple of trades, they all pop off as winners, and suddenly you feel like you can't lose. You're not even thinking, you're just clicking buttons and printing money. It feels like you found it, that magical zone the pros are always talking about. But you haven't. It's a trap. What you're feeling isn't the professional zone. It's what we call trading euphoria. The only reason you're not scared is because you haven't had your teeth kicked in yet. Your confidence is coming from ignorance, not skill. And when you're in that state, you become totally blind to risk, which almost always leads to blowing up your account.
So if the market isn't some game you can beat, then what is it? Well, Mark Douglas gives us this incredible metaphor that completely reframes the whole relationship.
Let's start with a serious reality check. When a trade goes against you, it feels personal, doesn't it? Like the market itself is out to get you. But the truth is, the market is just this huge, impersonal force. It has absolutely no idea you're even there. It doesn't know about your position, your hopes, or your fears. And you really need to let this one sink in. The market doesn't owe you a winning trade just because you did your homework. It doesn't owe you a recovery just because you're in a painful position. It owes you nothing. Period.
And right there, that is the source of all your pain in trading. The market doesn't make you angry or scared or feel betrayed. It just gives you neutral information. The pain you feel, that's coming from inside you. It's your own expectation that the market was supposed to do what you wanted it to do. The pain is literally self-inflicted.
So what do most of us do when we feel that pain? Well, we run straight into another trap. We try to solve an internal, psychological problem with an external, analytical solution. After a big loss, the knee-jerk reaction is, I just need to learn more. If I just find that perfect indicator, the market can't hurt me anymore. Douglas calls this the black hole of analysis. You're desperately trying to use more knowledge as a shield to protect you from the pain of losing. But it never, ever works, because the problem isn't what you know, it's how you act.
And this way of thinking creates that classic, painful boom and bust cycle. You win some money, that's the boom. You feel euphoric, you start thinking you're a genius. So you ignore your own rules about risk. And that, of course, leads to a massive loss, the bust. Then you blame the market, and you dive right back into that black hole of analysis, looking for the next holy grail. And the cycle just keeps repeating itself over and over until you finally address the real issue.
So, how do you get off this miserable merry-go-round? It takes one final, absolutely critical shift in your thinking. You have to accept total, and I mean total responsibility.
Now, taking responsibility is way more than just saying, yeah, I'm the one who clicked the mouse. No, it means accepting that everything, every single win and every single loss, is a direct reflection of what's going on inside your head. It means you understand that risk is just part of the game, and you accept it without fear. And when you do that, you finally stop fighting the market. You stop trying to force it to do what you want, and instead, you just learn to flow with it.
Let's look at what this actually looks like.
The trader who blames the market thinks, I'm a genius after a win, and the market screwed me after a loss. But the trader who takes responsibility, after a win, they think, I followed my plan. And after a loss, they think, I followed my plan. See the difference? The outcome doesn't matter. What matters is disciplined execution.
And that brings us right back to that central idea. The market is the ultimate mirror. It doesn't make you who you are. It just reflects your own discipline, your own fears, and your own baggage right back at you with brutal, unflinching honesty. And if you don't like the reflection you're seeing, well, you can't change the mirror. You have to change yourself.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. You are never, ever going to be able to control the vast, chaotic ocean that is the market. Trying to find certainty is a waste of time. The only path forward is to stop obsessing over the ocean and start focusing on the one thing you actually can control: your shik. Your mindset, your discipline, your responsibility. That is where the real work of trading actually begins.